You might have familiar with these terminologies or the operations in plain table survey, which include the fixing of the table, and that is not shown in that video, but the setting they have explained, and also citing they have explained. And I hope you are clear with these operations in plain table survey. Okay, so fixing means nothing. You are placing your tripod and you are fixing the table over it. Okay, and then comes the setting. In setting, first what you do, you level the plain table. You make it horizontal. So that is the first step. Then you do the centering. Centering is nothing. You are transferring that point onto your drawing board, and you are orienting. That is the final step in the setting. Orienting means you are aligning uh, your plane table with respect to some fixed direction. Okay, it can be a magnetic meridian or any other arbitrary meridian of your choice. Okay, so that comes under setting. Then after the setting, you are sighting the points or the ranging dot placed at the points of your interest, and you will be bisecting that ranging dot while looking through the alidade. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we discuss about the different methods of plane table surveying. It includes four methods. One is the radiation, second is the intersection, third is the traversing, and fourth is the resection. The first two methods, it generally they are generally used to locate the points of our interest, or the feature points or the detail points. While the other two, the traversing and resection, they are used to locate instrument station within our travers. Okay. As we proceed the survey, we are thinking that okay, if we have one more instrument station in between the area we survey, then we'll be having a better opportunity to mark more details or plot more details. So in such situations, we go for traversing or resection methods. Okay, and we start with radiation yesterday. In radiation, uh, see all the lines which we are drawing on the sheet, like parallel to uh, the one on the ground, we call it as a ray. Okay, so a ray is drawn from the instrument station towards the point. So that is what is happening. So you are going to mark. You are going to you are going to sight different points from point A. Like as you've seen in the video, you will be sighting at point A, and you will be measuring the distance. You will be plotting it on the drawing sheet. Then goes to point B. Same procedure for point C and point D as well. So such method. So okay, see, so initially what you do at point A, you are going to place your ranging dot. Okay, then you keep your alidade in position so that both the ranging rod and the crosshair in the alidade, they are in the straight line, and the point O, which is the centered point on the drawing sheet, and that one, and the crosshair on the alidade and the ranging rod, they are in straight line, and the crosshair bisects the ranging rod. Okay, in that situation, which is that is the direction or that is the orientation of the line OA. Okay, so first what we do, first we place the table, you center, you do the leveling, you do the centering, and so that you will have the point O on the table. Then you do the orientation, you mark the north direction in the drawing table. Then what you do is you place the ranging rod, you sight through the alidade, so that you will have the orientation of the line OA. Okay, so next one is you are going to sight uh, through the alidade to the point A, the ranging rod on placed on the point A. After sighting, what you do is you are going to measure the distance OA, and then you are going to place the ranging rod the corresponding distance which you draw to a reduced scale has to be plotted on the drawing sheet. So that becomes a small a. Okay, so the distance small o to small a is the reduced scale of the ground distance capital O capital A. Okay, so you will be repeating. So with that, the first station is over. So you have to move to the next point B. You do the same procedure. You side B and mark the distance B on your drawing sheet. So same way you do for C and D as well. So you will be having a point, the station point O, and you can see that different lines are looking like radiating from this particular point O, and hence the name radiation method. All the rays are radiating from the instrument station. So if you want to join these points, that can also be done. You can mark the different points if you want to do so. So, I have done it. You can see that in green color line. So uh, the one single instrument station is controlling different points to be detailed. From one station you can have measurements for different points. So this is the method of radiation. Is this clear to you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So next step is intersection. See, radiation method, no, this is generally used when the distance between the points and or the instrument station is very less, or at least the it should be within the length of a tape, maybe 30 meters or so, and not beyond that. Because if the distance is more, you will be having multiple chains or more than one chain to measure that. So the orientation of the chain and the measurement errors are also uh, adding more error to your plane table survey observations. So it is generally used when for small distances or small scale plotting of the your features. But if the distances between the points are too large, you can adopt the intersection method. In intersection method, what you do is you won't be uh, measuring the distance for of all the points. You will be measuring. You will be having two stations, and the only thing is you are going to measure the distance between the stations. Okay, which is known as the baseline. So, but you are not going to measure the distance between the instrument station and the points. But these points are located by intersecting rays from two different stations. So that is why the procedure is called the intersection method. So we'll look how the intersection works. So now imagine you are at station one, which is represented as O, and you come to this station one. You placed your tripod. You fix the plane table. You does the centering, sorry, leveling. Then you does the centering so that you will have the small o on your drawing sheet. Then you does the orientation, and now you are about to cite the point of your interest. Okay, so now you are going to cite point A first. So what you do, you cite point A and you mark the measure the distance OA and draw to a reduced scale on the drawing sheet. So you will have OA. But this OA, sorry, in this, sorry, in this you are not measuring any distance. You are simply drawing a line or in that particular direction. After citing the point A through the alidade, you are simply drawing a line. You are not doing any measurement. Okay, so you will be having a line on your drawing sheet and you don't know the distance between O and A. Similarly, the next procedure is you side B and draw a line along the direction OB. So you have another line OB. Same way you do it for C and D as well. Okay. So each point you are citing, and along the line of sight you are simply making a line on your drawing sheet. Then what you do after citing all the points, then you have identified another station, which is the station P at a distance OP, which you have to measure. So the distance between the instrument station is known as the baseline. So baseline distance. So the baseline is the line connecting two instrument stations. So you identify another station P. You just a second. So you identify another station P here. So what you are going to do, and you are going to measure the distance between O and P. Okay, and that distance you are going to mark on a reduced scale. So this knowing this distance in this particular direction, you can locate P on your drawing sheet. So that's why you will be so it enables you to mark point P on the drawing sheet. But all these detailed points or the the points of your interest, you don't know the distance between them because you are not measuring that distance, because these points are very far and you cannot you cannot measure with a single tape line. So for these points, you don't have A, B, C written on the drawing board because these points are not known to you. The location of these points are not known to you. But OP, as you are measuring the distance OP, you can easily locate the point P on your drawing sheet. Okay, so you locate the baseline OP and you measure the distance and you have drawn OP on a reduced scale. Then what you do? Then you are going to shift your station. So then you take your plane table and you move to station 2, which is the point P. Okay. At point P, what you are going to do, now you are at point P. At point P, you repeat all the procedures. Like you have to fix the instrument, you have to do the setting, and you have to do the sighting. Okay, this centering, leveling, orientation, everything you have done, and now you are at point P, and you are about to sight different points. Now you sight the point from this point P. You sight the point A. Okay, this you can see in that pink colored line. Then you sight, then you mark, then you sight. See, at the intersection of this blue line, which you have already drawn on the drawing sheet, and this line of sight between the P and A, this intersection is the point A. Okay, this point is A. Likewise, if you sight point B, you will be having an intersection here, which will be the detail point B. Likewise, C and D. So, okay. So by intersection of these two rays, uh, will lead us to have the instrument, the detail points on our drawing sheet. Okay, this is how intersection works. Excuse me, this. So intersection, nothing. You are pointing point A. So okay, shift station. Then from here, you are. I think this is point A, B, C, D. This is clear to you? The method of intersection.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we move on to the another method, which is the traversing method. Okay. So in this, what you do is, uh, so imagine you are at a station O, and the two station S and P are visible from the station O. Okay, but imagine you cannot see R and Q when you stand at O. Okay, so as you can see S and P, what you can do is you can sight S and you can measure the distance between O and S, and that can be plotted to a reduced scale. So after plotting to reduced scale, you can locate the point S on the drawing sheet. Okay, so you what what you did is uh, you center and you locate the you center the instrument station and you got the point O on your drawing sheet. On reduced scale, you mark OS and OP in the direction of line of sight to that particular point. Okay. So after this, what you do is you move to the another station P. Okay. So at P, because this is in the line of sight and you are at P, and from P what you do is you are going to sight the station Q and you measure the distance PQ and draw that to scale. After that you move to the station Q, then you sight the station R, then draw that to scale. Then from R you shift the station to R, then from R you are going to sight the point S. Then you are going to draw, you are going to complete the, uh, you are going to measure the distance R and S and that can be plotted. So that will be a closed figure. So you will be having your complete map at the station R. You are starting your drawing at the station O, and as the traverse progress, your drawing also advances and you will be having a complete drawing or you will be having a closed traverse at the station R. Suppose if you want to see the accuracy of your survey, what you can make check lines. You can measure the distance, ground distance between in two stations, and you can see whether the distance which you will be getting on the reduced scale is comparable with that of the ground distance. So you can have check lines from any two instrument station between any two instrument stations. Generally, the traverse method is used to lay down survey lines between instrument stations. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the other method is, if if somebody have difficulty, let me know. Okay. So the next method is the resection. Resection is nothing. Imagine you have a couple of survey points, the instrument stations, and you feel that okay, having one more station would be good to have more for more detailed surveying. So the process of determining the plotted position of the station occupied by the plane table, which means that you have identified one station in your field, uh, which is which you want to make it as an instrument station, and you are locating that particular point by means of sight taken towards non-points. You have non-points on the field, and you are going to use that non-points to locate a station for you, locate a new station for your detailed surveying. So such process is known as uh, resection. Okay. So it is usually adapted when the surveyor feels that some important details can be plotted easily by choosing any station other than the triangulation stations. So for that purpose only, we are using the resection method. So what happen if we are not properly orienting our instrument station? Uh, like if you are not properly orienting and if we are not properly mapping the intersection. So before that, let us have a look at the terminology resector. Resectors is nothing, it's a ray drawn from the unplotted location of the station on the map to the points of non-location. See, you are going to locate a point on the map now. So from that point, if you are drawing rays to the non-points, so that they are called as resector. Otherwise you will be simply calling it as rays, but if you are drawing lines from unknown location to known location, that will be called as resector. Okay. So if the plane table is not properly oriented, the station that we are going to locate, that will be uh, and if you draw resectors, that will not going to have not going to give the correct location of the station. So that is the problem. So which can happen if the measurements are wrong or if the orientation is not appropriate. So there are a couple of methods that can be adapted to have uh, to perform resection. So one is resection, which can be performed after orientation by compass. So you are using compass to orient the table, and thereafter you do the resection. And the second method is you can do the orientation by backsighting, then you do the resection. And the other method is you can do the orientation by 3-point problem. So that we will be discussing in detail. Now, what are the 3 points? Nothing, but you are going to fix a point instrument location on the field by making use of three non-points on the three three non-points. So that is the 3-point problem, and 2-point problem is you are locating a point based on two non-points. Okay, so this we'll be discussing. So the first one is you have to do the resection after orientation by compass. So in this particular figure, you can see the PBD instrument station that has to be located. Okay, this is the instrument station where we have placed our plane table. Okay, and A and B, they are the two stations which are visible from the point P. So, and we have cited this particular these points are already known to us, so we can measure the distance between them, and they are known. They are plotted on a reduced scale on the drawing sheet. So this is where we are now. So then what we do is we shift the table and we place over the point P, the unknown point, unknown station. So we have placed that one here. Then what we do, we orient the table with the compass. So compass means you will be having a magnetic meridian, and with respect to that, you are going to orient the table. Okay, so that orientation is over. So which means that you might have also oriented here. So similarly, you are orienting here as well in the unknown point. So which means that you know that the plane table works the under the principle of parallelism. So if you have oriented table with respect to a magnetic meridian at point A, so the orientation here also will be related to that, because you are also orienting here with respect to the magnetic meridian. So both the orientation, all the lines or the meridians are parallel to each other at point A and point B as well. So your table will be properly oriented. Okay, if you do a compass orientation, then what you do, you pivot the alidade about A and draw a resector towards A. So you are going to place your alidade here. Okay, then you are going to side the point A, and through that point you are going to mark a line. Okay, after sighting you are simply drawing a line. You don't have any measurements with you. The distance measurements you don't have, but in that particular direction you are drawing a line on your drawing sheet. Similarly, you are going to sight the point B, sight this point B from B, and you are going to extend, you are going to draw a line in this particular direction. So the intersection of these two receptors will give the point P, the point of intersection of these two receptors. Receptors mean this AP is a receptor and PB is a receptor. These are the lines which you are drawing from an unknown point to a known point. AB is known to us, so P was unknown, so P2A is a receptor and P2B is a receptor, and this intersection of these receptors is the point of I'm having disturbance. Okay. So this you will be getting the unknown point P on your drawing sheet. See, our idea is to have that point P on our drawing sheet. That is what we want. And this and we make use of orientation by compass to locate that point P on the drawing sheet. Any doubt? Any doubt?
Yes, sir. God bless.
Okay. So we move to the another step, which is the we'll do the orientation after back sighting. Okay. In this figure, P is the instrument station to be located, and here it is P. And A and B, they are the visible stations from P, which have been plotted as A and B on the sheet. So P is your unknown location. AB are visible from P. AB, the direction is plotted on the drawing sheet AB. Okay, so our objectives here, we what we are doing at point A, we are going to fix the table, and we do the orientation, we do the setting, and we do the sighting. Okay, so AB you have set. Okay, so AB location is known to us. Then what you do, you are going to sight uh, B, the point B, and you are going to verify the distance AB. Okay, then what you do, you are placing your alidade about point A, and you are going to sight the point P, and you are going to draw a ray up to an arbitrary location P dash. So you are going to sight the point P, then along this line you are going to along this line of sight you are going to draw a line to an arbitrary location P dash. Okay, then what you do is you are shifting the station, you are shifting this plane table station to P. Then from P what you do is you do a back sighting to the instrument station A. Okay, so you are at P and you does the back sighting, and you by placing the alidade, your orientation is correct now. You have done the back sighting to the this particular point A, the station A. Okay, then after back sighting point A, you can clamp the table so that it won't move in the horizontal plane. You can arrest the movement of the horizontal plane by using the clamp provided. So that will be locked. Your table is no more able to rotate. Okay. So then what you do, you pivot the alidade at this particular point B and sight this point B. Okay, so you are placing your alidade at B, and you are sighting this ground location B. Okay, then you are going to draw a line connecting line in the line of sight of B, and you are extending that line so that it touches the it intersects the line A P dash. So the intersection, the point of intersection of the line B uh, on the line A P dash is the point of your interest, the point of the unknown station. The P is what we require, and the intersection of these two gives the point P. This is clear.
God bless, sir.
Okay. So you have another method is the 3-point problem and 2-point problem. These two I'll be explaining separately, because in your syllabus they have given separate lecture schedules for 2-point and 3-point problem. I'll be discussing that tomorrow, and I'll be stopping now. I know that you are having exam anyway. 2-point I thought I'll be explaining you tomorrow. So yeah, if you have any doubt, let me know. Like in the video, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Okay. And this one also fine with you, right? The methods of plane tabling so far.
Yes, sir. Only Godpilla.
Okay. Then I'm stopping today's class. So if somebody forgot to mark your attendance, please do it. I'm going to copy it now. And thank you.